The Harper Conservatives have provided for income splitting for seniors, and that helps to fund retirement. We'd like to also do that for every family across the country, up to $50,000. That way, you can spend the money on your priorities. I'm Eve Adams. I'm a hard worker, I get results, and I'd be honored to go to work for you in Ottawa. Please vote Eve Adams, Conservative.
Well, she's going to have very different campaign slogans this time around. Of course, Eve Adams shocking Parliament Hill yesterday with her announcement that she was crossing the floor to join Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party of Canada. Floor crossing is not new. It happens all the time and probably happens far too often, but it's a reality in our political system. And should politicians be held accountable for it? Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. For more on this and all the drama unfolding on Parliament Hill, I'm joined by Matty DiMuccio, former city councillor in Newmarket and is now the president of the York Region Taxpayers Coalition, and Nelson Wiseman, professor of political science at the University of Toronto. Professor Wiseman, thanks again for joining us here. Let me start with you. First and foremost, your reaction when you heard that Eve Adams was suddenly no longer a Harper Conservative but found religion on the Justin Trudeau Liberals.
Well, of course, I was surprised like everybody else, but then when I reflected upon it for a couple of minutes and heard what they said, it wasn't that surprising at all.
What helped you draw that conclusion, Professor Wiseman?
Well, because she's obviously been desperate to stay in the House of Commons. The Conservatives made it clear to her that she couldn't contest any election, although I just found that out yesterday. Before that, they disqualified her from running in the constituency she thought she had a good chance of winning in. And faced with the prospect of not being a Conservative candidate, the only viable option for her was to run as a Liberal because, running as an independent, you're virtually sure to lose. Nunai got elected in the last Parliament, and she's obviously not an NDPer given her values. Mm-hmm. So she made a deal with the Liberals.
She made a deal with the Liberals, no doubt about that, Matty. But you and I have talked about this a few times with respect to those that cross the floor. They don't resign their seat. There's no consultation with their constituents because Eve Adams has caused quite a lot of drama in the various ridings in which she has suggested she's either going to run in. There's been a lot going on there. Those who cross the floor in general, people find it distasteful. You're a former politician. What is your view on it?
Well, and not only that, I'm Adrian. I'm also from Newmarket Aurora, the famous riding where Belinda Stronach famously crossed the floor. So I'm familiar with that, yes. Floor crossers essentially is the stuff that cynical politics is made of. I mean, we saw the clip earlier where Eve Adams was talking about the great things about the Conservative government, and then yesterday she sat alongside Justin Trudeau with a big grin on her face saying about the great things about the Liberal government. So it's cynical politics at its worst, and Professor Wiseman is right. She's fighting for her political life, and that's what this is about. However, having said that, she's also bringing about the drama. You used a good word. It is the drama. It is, she's sitting alongside Justin Trudeau. Very bad Liberal strategy, in my opinion, because this is going to follow her. I mean, we're stating the obvious that we all know that Eve Adams is doing this in order to stay in government, and whether she has those, strong beliefs, party beliefs, I beg to question that. But I will say that the problem with what she's doing, what just Justin Trudeau's doing, is that this drama will follow her. So now we know, for example, that Justin Trudeau has a real problem with open nominations. And we've seen that over and over in a lot of different situations. And this is going to follow Eve Adams because from what I understand, there are many great candidates that have put their names forward. They're fighting for their own political life. And now she's going to start the same drama that actually put her in this place in the first place.
So now reports, Professor Wiseman, that Eve Adams intends on running against Canada's current finance minister, Joe Oliver, who has held that seat for some time now, has been a strong constituency MP, is quite popular in his riding. Could this be one of those sorts of situations where Justin Trudeau's people are thinking, hey, it's a pretty big coup getting a Conservative to jump to Liberal, and we're also going to bring, a big, sort of very strong former ally of Prime Minister Stephen Harper, Dimitri Soudis, on board? I'm just trying to figure out the calculus here for the Liberals. If they say, we've tried to give you a seat, Eve, go for it, but where you're running is still a Conservative stronghold. I'm trying to make some sense out of that for me.
I wouldn't call Eglinton Lawrence a Conservative stronghold. Actually, until Joe Oliver won it in the last election, I think the Liberals held it for years and years, if not decades. Joe Volpe was there, it seemed, almost forever. And if I'm not mistaken, Mitchell Sharp held that seat back in the Trudeau days.
Yeah, for sure. But, poll after poll shows how consistently popular, Mr. Oliver is. So maybe you're right, not a Conservative seat per se, but more of a, they'll vote for the individual rather than the party in that regard. So anyway, go ahead. I
think the vote last time was for the party. I don't think it was so much for Oliver. It's not that people didn't know Joe Volpe. I think the big thing is that the Liberals expanded their caucus. It gave them they could project the image that the momentum is with them, not with the Conservatives. Now, of course, some of the things that both Eve Adams said and Justin Trudeau said were hard to swallow. But let me also point out that the Conservatives in that same part of the world, Mississauga, Streetsville, a few years ago, we had a Liberal crossover to the Conservatives, Wajid Khan, because Harper promised him some, minor little thing to write a report which never ever came out. Conservatives welcomed him with open arms. So actually it seems to me, and although I argued against the position with Peter Stauffer, I've come around to the NDP position on this, which is if you're going to cross the floor, or if you want to cross the floor, if you want to leave your party, you should step down and sit as an independent, or resign and run. Because when people go to vote, let's remember, the candidate's name is on the ballot, but attached to it is the party name. Right. And we know from surveys that the majority of people are more likely to be influenced by the party name and the party leader than they are by the local candidate. Of course, it varies in constituencies. If the prime minister is in your in your riding, that influences you, or the leader of the opposition, or it was Jack Layton. But generally, that isn't the case. And many people, when they show up at the polls now, don't even know the names of the candidates, but they recognize the names of the parties. And that's the check mark they put. The other thing is, I'm not sure this will resonate outside of her riding. And even there, it'll only be very local. I don't think people in Scarborough or Red Deer or Chicoutimi are going to be influenced by what Eve Adams did back in February of 2015.
Yeah, I think those are all very important and valid points that Nelson brings up, Maddie. But I tend to agree that there has been so much of the floor crossing, and it does contribute to the sort of cynicism, and as you mentioned. Do you think that someone should resign before they cross the floor? Do you think that is realistic?
I think that's the obvious answer. I think that's the idealistic answer. Yeah. So whether it's the realistic, in real life, Adrian, it's all about political opportunism. Mm-hmm. What bothers me about this whole thing, however, is that, we shouldn't, this is sort of attracting the gong show politics that we don't want to hear about. I mean, we for example, Harper announced some cabinet shuffles. We should be talking, for example, what it means to Canada on a foreign stage that Rob Nicholson is now the foreign minister. What does it mean against the fight against ISIS that Jason Kenney is now the defense minister? Those are the things that we should be talking about. And so the sideshow you saw yesterday is just a distraction of what we should be talking about. And it shows once again that Trudeau is not ready to lead. And I'm not saying that in a partisan way. I'm saying that in a true way, that if you're going to set center stage by welcoming somebody who is clearly not, just a few days ago was a conservative and fighting to stay in the party, is now, going on saying that she's a liberal and she likes their values. If that's what you're going to bring, if that's the attention you want to bring to your party, we need to question, is this person ready to lead? Essentially, that's what it's about.
All right. Well, it's never dull. Professor Nelson Wiseman, always thank you to you for joining us here at Sun News. University of Toronto political science professor, and Maddie DiMuccio, former city councillor in Newmarket, and is now the president of the York Region Taxpayers Coalition. We are